Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making homemade spaghetti sauce.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
This homemade spaghetti sauce is super easy. It's got pantry ingredients, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. So let's head over to the stove. Right, to start the sauce off, you're going to need a very large pot. This is one of my favorite things I use my Dutch oven for. So I'm going to put a little olive oil in there, probably a couple tablespoons. And I've chopped up just over a half an onion, and that's going to go in. We're going to saute these onions here. And as they saute, we're going to add a tablespoon of oregano. And we're just going to let that go until the onions are a little tender. Probably just a couple minutes. All right, so the recipe also calls for 8 tablespoons of garlic, or not 8 tablespoons, 8 cloves of garlic. If you want to take the time to chop and mince those, you can, but I just add a couple heaping tablespoons of the ready minced. It's a big time saver. And we're also going to add about a teaspoon, or however spicy you want to make it. I put about that much in, of red pepper flakes. All right, you want to cook that for about a minute or so. As soon as everything's very fragrant, you want to take a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. Woo! And put that in. I'm going to let that cook for a little bit. You want to cook this tomato paste with the onions and garlic and oregano, the red pepper flakes. It's going to start kind of caramelizing onto the bottom, and then we're going to add some wine to it. There we go. Now it's loosening up a little. This is how you get such great depth of flavor on this spaghetti sauce. All right, so that's simmered for about a minute. Now I'm going to add some dry red wine. I think this is some Cab Sav. That's usually what I can find. Stir this around. We're going to cook this for a minute. Scrape up all those bits that kind of stuck to the bottom. You can use whatever dry red wine you have. So I always find the Cab Sav, but if you have a Merlot or something hanging out, that would work too. Okay, so now that that is going, we're going to add in, got 2 big, huge 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes are going in. And I got a cup of water that's going in. And what I do is I put it in and I rinse out the cans. Okay. Give it a good stir. Oh, it smells so delicious. All right, so before I started the sauce, I browned together some 1.5 pounds of ground beef and a 1/2 pound of Italian sausage. I've got that behind me. I don't brown it in the pot because I don't want all the extra grease in there. So I've drained the grease, and then we're going to add the meat, and then this is going to simmer for about 40 minutes. flick it out. Yum. So now we're going to let this simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes depending, and I'm going to put a lid on it and let it crack so that some of the steam can come out. And we're going to turn it down to low. It smells so delicious in here. So 40 minutes has passed. This has been bubbling away. And I've got my pot of water on for my spaghetti sauce. So we're gonna finish, or my spaghetti noodles. So we're gonna finish up the sauce. So I got some fresh basil here. So I'm gonna stack some leaves up. I'll show you how to do this. We're going to stack them up like a deck of cards. Then you're going to really carefully roll them. Let's roll it this way. Roll it up like this, and we're going to chiffonade it. And just cut it in little ribbons. That's how it, you can see them, they come out like little ribbons. Having the fresh basil in this makes it really, really delicious. If you don't have fresh basil, I'll put the measurements in the description for using dried basil. Okay, so in the sauce, the basil goes. And we also want a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Give this a stir. Okay, so now we're going to taste this for seasonings. Remember, I haven't added any salt to this yet. The first thing I know for sure I'm going to need is a teaspoon of sugar, and that might sound weird, but it takes all the acidity out of the tomato and kind of makes it a sweeter sauce, but it is delicious. I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to start with some salt, probably a teaspoon. Tomatoes usually take quite a bit of salt, and then I'll taste it here. And I've totally turned the heat off. It's so hot that there's no reason for it to be on. Okay, let's taste it for seasoning. Ooh, that's good. A little more salt. So I probably added maybe 1.5 teaspoons total. But that's delicious. That's perfect. So go ahead and turn the heat totally off your sauce. We're gonna wait for the noodles. Oh, hey, we're ready to go. When you cook your noodles, make sure that you got super salty. Salty is the ocean water. Woo! I'm gonna cook a whole pound. And I think these take about 10 minutes. My She-Ra Hulk skills are, ouch. Let that come to a boil. That is a lot of pasta. I should have picked a bigger bowl. So this pasta sauce spaghetti sauce makes a lot. I usually make the whole batch all the time, and then when it cools, I pop it in these terrific containers and I just throw it in the freezer. And then if we need a quick meal one night, you can just take it out and you've got instant spaghetti sauce. It's great if you want to use it for like a dipping sauce for breadsticks or anything like that too. It works great. You can leave the meat out if you want. So we're going to wait on the noodles to finish cooking. All right, so we're gonna check the noodles. Let's see if they're ready to go. See if I can get one out. They're so hot. A little bit longer, I think. A little bit longer. That's perfect. Okay, we're gonna kill the heat. I'm gonna go over to the sink and drain these, and then we'll get some spaghetti plated up. Get my pasta facial. All right, let's grab a plate. Okay, this smells so good. You guys are gonna love this. Okay, so let's put some on the pasta. Yum. It's gonna be so hot. Let's see if we can do this. It's still steaming, man. Oh, so good. I love the flavor that the wine brings to it and the fresh basil. It's just so delicious. I hope you guys try this. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other terrific episodes coming. We got more coming. You guys have a great night and enjoy this meal with your family. Everybody ready? What should I call it? Well, marinara?
Homemade meat sauce.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
Well, I don't know, it's spaghetti sauce.
Spaghetti and meat sauce. We gotta figure out what we're gonna call it. Should we just call it homemade marinara? Marinara with meat? Homemade meat sauce marinara. I'm just gonna say homemade spaghetti sauce.
Okay, lay it on me.
Today we're making homemade meats, or what did I? Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Homemade spaghetti
What is it
sauce.
called?
Don't ever put that in the bloopers.
Too late.
Gonna taste good, I know.